You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
Imagine a world where you're always one step ahead of cyber threats, where your defenses are impenetrable because you see what others don't. Welcome to Team Cymru's Threat Intelligence Solutions. With real-time access to the world's largest threat intelligence data ocean, they enable you to turn the tables on attackers. Transform your security from reactive to proactive through accelerated threat hunting and incident response, made possible through automation. Empower your team with visibility and insights to start defending your organization like never before. Team Cymru. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Learn more at team-cymru.com/cyberwire. That's team-cymru.com/cyberwire. This episode is brought to you by Palo Alto Networks, the leader in cybersecurity. As AI-driven attacks increase, organizations can't afford to have network security that's stuck in the past. Discover how Palo Alto Networks can help you predict what's coming and proactively secure against it with a zero-trust, AI-powered network security platform built to secure whatever, whenever, wherever. To learn more, visit paloaltonetworks.com/network security platform. Russian hackers persist against Microsoft's internal systems. Change healthcare systems are slowly coming back online. Russian propaganda sites masquerade as local news. Swiss government info is leaked on the darknet. Krebs on security turns the tables on the Radaris online data broker. The NSA highlights the fundamentals of zero trust. The British Library publishes lessons learned from their ransomware attack. Researchers run a global prompt hacking competition. Checkpoint looks at Magnet Goblin. Experts highlight the need for psychological safety in cybersecurity. Our guest is Dinah Davis, founder and editor-in-chief of Code Like a Girl, sharing the work they do to inspire young women to consider a career in technology. And the iSoon leak reveals the seedy underbelly of Chinese cyber operations. It's Friday, March 8th, 2024, International Women's Day. I'm Dave Bittner, and this is your CyberWire Intel Briefing. Thank you for joining us here today. It is great to have you with us. Russian state-sponsored hackers, known as Midnight Blizzard or Nobelium, have again targeted Microsoft, leveraging data from a January breach of the company's corporate emails. In that initial attack, the group accessed and stole staff emails and documents. Recently, Microsoft detected attempts by Midnight Blizzard to use this stolen information to access its source code repositories and internal systems. The tech giant noted an escalation in the hackers' tactics, including a significant increase in password spray attacks. Despite the concerning activity, Microsoft assures there's no evidence of compromise to its customer-facing systems. The company has been contacting customers potentially affected by the initial data theft to help implement protective measures. This ongoing cyber conflict has slightly affected Microsoft's stock value, and there's been no response from the Russian embassy regarding these incidents. Change Healthcare, part of United Health Group, is gradually restoring its systems after the late February cyber attack that severely impacted its operations, disrupting the U.S. health system's claims and payment infrastructure. As of Friday, electronic prescribing services for pharmacies are fully functional, with the broader payments platform expected to be operational by March 15th. The company is working to reestablish connectivity for its medical claims technology, with testing set to begin in the week of March 18th. United Health says they are committed to mitigating the attack's effects on consumers and care providers, offering funding support to those affected. The attack, attributed to the ALF-V or Black Cat ransomware group, has led to significant cash flow issues among large healthcare providers. United Healthcare has not disclosed whether a ransom was paid, but that comes amidst reports of a $22 million payment and ongoing scams within the ransomware group. The New York Times chronicles a series of fake news websites with names like DC Weekly, New York News Daily, Chicago Chronicle, and Miami Chronicle, which are falsely presenting themselves as local news outlets. They are, in fact, Russian creations aimed at disseminating Kremlin propaganda, interlacing legitimate news with fabricated stories to influence public discourse in the U.S. This strategy reflects Russia's long-standing efforts to manipulate American opinions, especially as the presidential election approaches. Researchers from Clemson University's Media Forensics Hub have identified these sites as part of a larger network potentially set up for disinformation campaigns. Despite appearing genuine at first glance, these websites often contain inaccuracies and sometimes blatant falsehoods. The discovery underscores the sophisticated and targeted nature of modern disinformation efforts, posing a significant threat to electoral integrity and public trust. The UK's National Cybersecurity Centre reported a significant data breach at the IT firm X-Plane, attributed to the Play ransomware gang on May 23rd of last year. X-Plane serves key Swiss government departments, including the Army and police. The breach exposed sensitive and classified information, including data from the Federal Office of Police and the Federal Office for Customs and Border Security, and the information was subsequently published on the darknet. Analysis revealed 1.3 million files were leaked, 65,000 deemed relevant to the federal administration, with the majority relating to the Federal Department of Justice and Police. Personal data, technical documents, classified information, and readable passwords were among the compromised data. The Swiss government has initiated an administrative investigation into the breach, emphasizing the importance of collaborative efforts in managing cybersecurity incidents. Krebs on Security takes a closer look at Radaris, a data broker that specializes in selling detailed information on individuals, including addresses, phone numbers, and relatives. Despite its significant online presence, it faces criticism for not allowing easy removal of personal information, resulting in an F rating from the Better Business Bureau. The co-founders have diverse business interests, including Russian-language dating services and ties to a California marketing firm working with a sanctioned Russian media conglomerate. Radaris's practices have drawn legal attention, including a class action lawsuit for violating the Fair Credit Reporting Act and a recent lawsuit for misusing names for commercial purposes in Illinois. Despite regulatory efforts, the broad legal exemptions for public records may limit significant changes to Radaris and similar people search companies' operations. The National Security Agency issued a cybersecurity information sheet that outlines the fundamental elements of zero trust, with the goal of limiting adversary lateral movement within an organization's network to access sensitive data and vital systems. Sam Meisenberg is the host of N2K CyberWire's Learning Layer, and I asked him to explain the details of the NSA's report and why it matters.
So the most interesting thing about the NSA's take on zero trust is really the context, or where they start. So what's interesting is they explain that zero trust is basically a defense against lateral movement. So they are assuming that this is post-breach, or they're assuming that breaches sort of occur inside the network. So that's a pretty interesting, unique perspective and take to have. It's the concept that some people call, no more squishy insides. It's like a hard candy. We don't want things to be hard on the outside, but soft and squishy on the middle. We want to assume that the worst has happened. So the NSA, with their zero trust pillars, are sort of helping you get into that mindset. And the meat of the actual documentation comes from their 7 different pillars. So I will just quickly sort of give you a brief summary of what those 7 pillars are. So they explain you have to think about, 1, the user. So this is like, okay, things that we normally think about, authentication and access. 2, the device. So basically understanding the health and status of all the different connected devices. 3 is application and workload. Is it really a third pillar when there's multiple words? I don't know. But basically what they're trying to say is that you have to secure your cloud-based environments as well. 4th is data. So you want data transparency and data encryption and a good inventory through data tagging. 5 is network and environment. So this is the things that we think about traditionally when we think about zero trust, things like network segmentation. 6 is automation and orchestration. So this is an interesting one because they explicitly mention AI. This is trying to automate our security defenses using AI. And then their 7th and final pillar is visibility and analytics. Again, in the same theme, they mention AI and machine learning explicitly, just trying to build models that help security teams automate some of these defenses. As I was going through the 7 pillars, you're probably wondering, why does this matter? Like, why should I care about this? Well, if you zoom out, I think the significance of this is that the NSA is sort of acknowledging the reality of cyber attack and defenses in the modern day, meaning they are acknowledging that breaches might happen. And it's not about blocking every single breach. It's about being prepared when there is a breach and how you limit the damage.
That's my N2K CyberWire colleague Sam Meisenberg, host of The Learning Layer. The British Library has published a detailed report documenting their response to a ransomware cyber attack in October of 2023 by the Ricida gang. The report outlines the attack's impact, response, recovery efforts, and lessons learned. It highlights the exfiltration of 600 gigabytes of data, including personal information, and the destruction of server infrastructure, severely affecting the library's operations and services. The report outlines the transition from crisis response to recovery with a program they call Rebuild and Renew, aiming for a more secure, resilient, and innovative library. Key lessons emphasize the importance of network monitoring, external security expertise, multi-factor authentication, intrusion response, network segmentation, business continuity, cyber risk awareness, and the management of legacy technology. Researchers from a number of universities and research organizations organized a prompt hacking competition where the goal was to exploit vulnerabilities in AI models to achieve specific outcomes. Participants engaged in creative prompt engineering, employing various techniques to manipulate the AI's responses. The winning team's approach combined manual prompt engineering with keen observations of the model's behavior in response to specific keywords and adversarial inputs. For advanced levels, participants explored the use of different languages, special characters, and formatting to bypass model restrictions or exploit its processing behavior. This included strategic use of Unicode representations and changing input languages to influence the model's output. The competition revealed the creativity and ingenuity required to manipulate AI models effectively. Teams used a mix of manual experimentation, observation, and even automated tools to refine their prompts and achieve the desired outcomes. The challenge of prompt hacking showcased the potential for both exploiting and understanding AI model vulnerabilities, emphasizing the importance of robust model design and the need for ongoing research into AI security and prompt engineering techniques. Researchers at Checkpoint describe the activities of Magnet Goblin, a financially motivated threat actor exploiting one-day vulnerabilities in systems like Avanti Connect Secure VPN, Magento, ClickSense, and possibly Apache ActiveMQ. Magnet Goblin employs custom malware, including a Linux variant of Nerbian Rat and Mini Nerbian. The report also covers Magnet Goblin's use of compromised Magento servers in its campaigns and the deployment of Mini Nerbian to establish footholds. The infrastructure analysis reveals the utilization of multiple tools and suggests potential links to other campaigns and malware, including Cactus ransomware. The report concludes by emphasizing the challenge of distinguishing unique actors amidst widespread exploitation and underscores the strategic leveraging of vulnerabilities by actors like Magnet Goblin. Creating a culture of psychological safety is essential for enhancing cyber resilience, according to security experts participating in a fireside chat at the Ignite on Tour conference in London. BAE Systems CISO Dr. Mary Hai, National Gas's CTO Darren Curley, and Palo Alto Network's CTO Haider Pasha highlighted the importance of fostering open communication across teams to address breaches or vulnerabilities efficiently. Pasha noted the shift towards making cybersecurity a collective responsibility within organizations, a change driven by the recent prioritization of security due to digitalization's risks. Dr. Hai stressed the necessity of a culture where staff can report incidents without fear of blame, underscoring the importance of leadership in nurturing an environment where raising concerns is encouraged. This approach is vital as cyber attacks become quicker and costlier, with potential legal repercussions for CISOs. The discussion also covered the dire consequences of security incidents in critical infrastructure, emphasizing the need for trust and accountability to improve a company's security stance. Coming up after the break, my conversation with Dinah Davis, founder and editor-in-chief of Code Like a Girl. Stay with us. In the complex world of enterprise identity, securing legacy web apps at scale can be daunting. Strata Identity makes it simple. With Strata, you can effortlessly integrate non-standard apps with any identity service, like MFA or SSO, with zero coding and zero hassle. Designed by identity architects for identity architects, Strata works with every vendor, standard, and app architecture. This means your apps can now speak modern protocols and integrate seamlessly with your chosen identity services. From securing on-prem web apps to migrating away from outdated identity providers or consolidating them, Strata helps you keep your complex access policies as you modernize your identity infrastructure and get rid of technical debt. Join leading organizations like 3M, Dallas County, and CIBC in securing your apps with Strata. Visit strata.io/cyberwire, share your identity security priorities, and receive a complimentary pair of AirPods Pro. Offer valid for organizations with over 5,000 employees. Connect today at strata.io/cyberwire. And now, a word from our sponsor, SpyCloud, the leader in operationalizing cybercrime analytics. Traditional threat intelligence is a thing of the past. Cyber criminals are stealing vast amounts of credentials, session cookies, and financial data every day, and it's hard to keep up. SpyCloud is the trusted partner businesses turn to fully understand their darknet exposure risk and neutralize threats before it's too late. SpyCloud alerts your organization as soon as an employee or customer's data appears on the darknet, so you can act faster than bad actors to prevent cyber attacks like ransomware, session hijacking, account takeover, and online fraud. With insights from the industry's largest repository of recaptured data, protect the digital identities and systems most important to your business. Get your free corporate darknet exposure report at spycloud.com/cyberwire and see what information criminals have in their hands today. That's spycloud.com/cyberwire. It is my pleasure to welcome back to the show Dinah Davis. She is the founder of Code Like a Girl and also a former technology executive. Dinah, it's great to have you back.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's been a while, so pretty fun to be here.
It's been too long, and I appreciate that. I wanted to kind of swing back all the way around to the beginning with you, which is, I believe, one of the first conversations you and I ever had here a few years ago on the Cyberwire was about Code Like a Girl and your efforts there. And I would love to reintroduce the organization to our audience. Surely we've got folks who are listening now who weren't listening then.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was like at least 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a while.
So let's pretend like we're part of the Marvel universe here and give me your origin story.
The origin story. Okay, I will do that. So I spent a lot of my career in tech, and about halfway through my career, around year 8 or 9, I went to a new company. And previous to that, I was like, heads down. I don't want to make any noise. Don't call me a feminist. I'm just going to do my work. And I just want to be one of the guys as a software developer. And even though I went in with that attitude at this place, I had a misogynistic bully for a boss that was just horrible to me, just horrible. And it was a terrible experience. And I realized that, if other companies or other jobs didn't like it if I talked about what it was like to be a woman in tech, then I didn't want to work for them. And so I started blogging about my experiences on Medium, and that was probably around 2012. And after a few years and moving to a better place and getting involved in a lot of other women in tech initiatives, I was trying to find better places to publish my stories because I wanted to change perceptions of women in technology. So I wanted it to have more voice and a wider set. So I was looking for publications in Medium that would allow me to publish with them. And there really wasn't any. And the one that there was very picky about what they wanted. And I thought to myself, this is early 2016, I thought, like, how hard is it to start a publication? And like, it turns out it's like 3 clicks. That's really all you have to do. And then now you've taken yourself on a journey that you didn't know you were going to have. So that's what I did, because I thought, what's more powerful than my voice, but hundreds of voices at that time. And I would say at this point, thousands of voices. We have so many writers now. And the interesting thing is, when I started that, our stories were really about being a woman in tech, right? And we grew that publication and everything. And, in the early days, I would scour Medium for technical articles written by women, because part of changing those perceptions isn't just about talking about it. It's about like showcasing their technical abilities. And that was really hard to find. And now, 8 years later, I would say half of our content is technical articles written by women. It's just blowing my mind. So a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, actually, I left Arctic Wolf. I retired from my executive cybersecurity career. And I've been really focused on mentoring and Code Like a Girl. And it's been really exciting over the last year to see the different types of stories that we're getting, to see these technical stories. We got recognized by Medium and introduced to their booster program, which is just fantastic. It allows me to choose up to 20 stories a month to suggest to them that they should maybe share those a little bit more widely with their following. And that's been helping us a lot. But yeah, it's been, I thought I would get a little bit back into it after I left Arctic Wolf, and now I'm probably spending 4 to 5 hours a day on it.
Well, so in the decade plus that you've been at this, what is changed when it comes to the newbies that are coming to you for help? I mean, is it to what degree, if at all, is it a different story, a different environment that someone just starting out has to contend with?
Yeah, I would say that at the more junior levels, we are seeing far, far, far more women, right? Concerted efforts went in 10 years ago or so to universities to start recruiting and graduating more women. And we're definitely seeing that. We're still not seeing a lot of women in more senior positions, whether they're individual contributor or leadership. And I think a good portion of people will still be one of the only women on the team, but less so than it used to be, right? So for software development, I would say it's more common to have a couple women on your team now, which is a great change, long way to go, but a great change. In cybersecurity, I would say that's not there yet, even at those entry levels that, you may be the only woman or, only non-binary person or only transgendered, only racial minority. I think in cybersecurity, we have a lot farther to go, where I think they're just behind the curve of what has been happening in tech, right? And a lot of the layoffs that we've been seeing over the last year and a half are disproportionately hitting women because, if we're talking about all those new women that graduated from universities and colleges, they're now less senior tenure, right? So all this diversity hiring that has been happening, then, when you do layoffs, you let go usually the latest, like last in, first out kind of situation. So a lot of that diversity hiring is getting undone with the layoffs. So that's something to think about when people and companies are doing these layoffs is like, am I disproportionately hitting my diversity numbers? Because we know that diversity increases innovation and the bottom line, really, right? So it's something we should be cognizant about.
Do you have any sense for what sort of activities or things to be deliberate about? I'm either a young woman coming into the industry or perhaps someone who's changing careers. Like, what do they get the most bang for their buck out of for being able to join this industry?
So I think one of the easier, not necessarily easier, but if you're choosing between, let's say, software development or security, I think it's easier to get into security. I think there are more well-respected, 1-year master's style programs that you can do that will then get you into your entry-level cybersecurity role. I've seen people come from so many different backgrounds. My barista once became a cybersecurity expert working for Arctic Wolf, chemist. And I think entry-level cybersecurity roles, you can come from so many different backgrounds, and it needs a little less time to get to that entry-level role rather than software development. It takes a little bit longer. For me, there's many well-run programs. Rogers Cybersecure in Canada is a fantastic one. Obviously, SANS courses, any of that kind of stuff is a really great way. And I think, many people can transition within a year. The amazing thing I've seen too is when people have transitioned, how quickly they can move up the promotion ladder at companies because we're just so starved for cybersecurity professionals.
Yeah. For folks who want to find out more about Code Like a Girl, what's the best way to get in touch?
codelikeagirl.io. Just check it out. We're on LinkedIn and we're also on Facebook and Instagram, but you can go just directly to our site and that will be great.
All right. Dinah Davis is the founder of Code Like a Girl. Dinah, thanks you so much for joining us.
Managing the requirements for modern security programs is increasingly challenging and time-consuming. Enter Vanta. Vanta gives you one place to centralize and scale your security program. Quickly assess risk, streamline security reviews, and automate compliance for ISO 27001, SOC 2, and more. You can leverage Vanta's market-leading trust management platform to unify risk management and secure the trust of your customers. Plus, use Vanta AI to save time when completing security questionnaires. CyberWire Daily listeners can get $1,000 off by going to vanta.com/cyber. That's VANTA.com/cyber.
And finally, the recent leak of documents from iSoon, a private contractor with ties to China's government, has exposed the underbelly of the country's hacking industry, revealing a world where sex, alcohol, and lavish dinners are tools of the trade to curry favor with government officials. Executives at iSoon were seen arranging opulent banquets and karaoke sessions with women as part of their strategy to secure lucrative contracts, showcasing a blatant mix of business and pleasure aimed at winning over clients and officials. The documents also reveal instances of paying substantial introduction fees to intermediaries who could connect them with high-value projects, emphasizing the lengths to which these companies will go to maintain and expand their influence. Behind the facade of slick marketing and professed patriotism, the reality of the hacking industry in China is one of competitive maneuvering and questionable ethics. The leaked chats detail late-night binge drinking and gift exchanges designed to solidify relationships with both officials and competitors, highlighting the importance of personal connections over professional merit. The leak not only casts a shadow over the Chinese hacking industry's practices, but also exposes the complex relationship between private contractors like iSoon and the Chinese state. Despite their reliance on each other, the industry's reliance on unsavory methods to secure contracts and intelligence paints a troubling picture of the lengths to which these entities will go to advance their interest. So, winning those lucrative contracts with the Chinese government might require sophisticated algorithms and stealthy cyber attacks, but at the end of the day, liquor is quicker. And that's the Cyberwire. For links to all of today's stories, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. Be sure to check out this weekend's Research Saturday and my conversation with Jamie McCall and Dr. Pia Hoosh from the Royal United Services Institute. We're discussing their work, Ransomware, Victim Insights on Harms to Individuals, Organizations, and Society. That's Research Saturday. Check it out. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. You can email us at cyberwire@n2k.com. N2K Strategic Workforce Intelligence optimizes the value of your biggest investment, your people. We make you smarter about your team while making your team smarter. Learn more at n2k.com. This episode was produced by Liz Stokes. Our mixer is Trey Hester with original music by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producers are Jennifer Iben and Brandon Karp. Our executive editor is Peter Kilpie, and I'm Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here next week. Imagine a world where you're always one step ahead of cyber threats, where your defenses are impenetrable because you see what others don't. Welcome to Team Cymru's Threat Intelligence Solutions. With real-time access to the world's largest threat intelligence data ocean, they enable you to turn the tables on attackers. Transform your security from reactive to proactive through accelerated threat hunting and incident response, made possible through automation. Empower your team with visibility and insights to start defending your organization like never before. Team Cymru. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Learn more at team-cymru.com/cyberwire. That's team-cymru.com/cyberwire.